Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels. This week we're going to be looking at Dmitry Petkov's Jund Reanimator list. So there's a funny story about this deck. He ended up actually being matched up with me in a random matchmaking kind of thing, and I ended up scooping because I think I was playing him in my own time with a burn deck or something like that, and he absolutely destroyed me with this deck, so yeah, let's go play it, shall we? As always, this video is sponsored by 5 Color Combo, so if you do check the description, you'll find a link to their website where you can find some really cool Magic the Gathering tokens made by real Magic the Gathering artists. So if that's something that interests you, then be sure to check it out. Alright guys, I'll see you in the games. Okay, we're in. We have a really crappy hand. Let's throw it back. And yeah, this one seems reasonable. It's not the best hand, but with our Evolving Wilds, we can go get our red source. We've got some ramp and Bitter Revelation to hopefully get some creatures in the graveyard, and follow that up with a Necromantic Summon. So it's a serviceable hand. It can do its thing, and hopefully we draw into something good before we even get to this point. So our opponent is on black-green. I'm just going to sack this land while I read out his name. Hang on. Rank 33, called Dravido. Ooh, there's an Omnath, so we don't have a way of discarding you just yet, but you will be nice to discard later down the line. This is the only card that I changed from the original list, because I just kind of like Omnath in Reanimator decks, to be honest, and there's a lot of Evolving Wilds in this deck, and obviously a few ramp cards as well, so he seemed very suitable for this matchup. Nissa Vastwood Seer, okay. So she comes down, she's going to grab himself a Forest, and if he gets to 7, she flips into a Planeswalker. Needless to say, we either need to be winning, or she needs to be dead by that point. Let's just play a Forest, and pass the turn. I'm not going to Radiant Flames away Anissa. I might Radiant Flames away something else if he plays something onto the board state. Coming in for the attacks. Sure. Don't mind a Lightning Axe next turn. That'll deal with the Nissa. And get the Omnath in the graveyard for turn 5. Goes with a Vessel of Nascency. Okay. Is this like Delirium, maybe? Yeah, I think this is Delirium. Gains a bit of life with the Filigree Familiar. We get a Fog. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we're going to go Swamp and Bitter Revelation here. We've got the lands to get Necromantic Summons out next turn. We just, we really needed to see a creature there that we could throw into the graveyard. Well, we're just going to have to go with Ever After and Radiant Flames, I guess. I don't need another Explosive Vegetation, not really. And now we get to discard to hand size. So next turn, Omnath's going to come out. Unfortunately, we don't get a land drop the turn it does come out, so if he does have any kind of removal, then we'll be a bit sad. Ooh, he's only going to get a land here. I don't think you can pick Planeswalkers with a Vessel. Let me double check that. Oh no, you absolutely can. Yeah, he's gone with the 5-mana Nissa. She's interesting. Probably don't want to play it into the other Nissa, because then he can never get to 7 lands, otherwise he flips and Planeswalker rules them. But he's going to play another Vessel and reveal... Ooh, he's got Necromantic Summons. That's probably what he's going for. He's got nothing to grab with it, but I'm sure later down the line when we kill his Nissa... Oh, he took a land, actually. Was it a Rogue's Passage he took? I'm not sure. Okay. I don't like where we are right now, to be perfectly honest. We don't have 2 creatures for the Ever After. Which means if we do play the Omnath with the Necromantic Summons, which it will be a 7/7, we won't get full value out of the Ever After if it dies, is pretty much what I'm getting at. So let's go Forest. And, yeah, let's just Necromantic Summons it. Let's get it on the board. We know he's running Reanimator spells, so I'd rather us have it on the board at this point in time. Because he's got the potential to blow us out the water by taking our creatures out of our graveyards. And he does have the murder. We did think that was coming. And I'll kill you, Nissa. Thanks to Omnath's additional ability. The next time we do it, though... Oh no, because we've got to get to 6 this time instead of 5. Yeah, I was hoping we'd be able to hit our land drop. Ooh, Sinister Concoction. We could Sinister Concoction, Explosive Vegetation, with a little bit of ramp. It potentially gets us a creature into our graveyard as well. Or should I just play a swamp here? No. We're not going to be able to Ever After and Explosive Vegetation on the same turn, and he's probably got removal. So the best thing to do, really, is to have enough mana for the Ever After, and then play the swamp when Omnath comes out from the Ever After, so that at the very least we get a 5/5 elemental token out of it. So we'll Explosive Vegetation, grab, I don't think it particularly matters. We've got a swamp in hand, so we'll get a forest and a mountain. We'll pass the turn. We're going to hold on to this swamp. I'd quite like it. So we're probably taking 7 here, thanks to the Nissa that's going to reanimate another land. Hopefully we don't take much more than that, because we can't really. But the upside is we can actually hold up a fog next turn, I think. Yes, yes we can. There's Nissa Vital Force. Gonna plus untap a land and make it a 5/5. So we didn't actually get any of our decent cards in this matchup, unfortunately. Kinda got a bit screwed over. Down to 3. And there's a Gaia's Revenge. We could always cast the Gaia's Revenge, but the problem is we just end up dying the turn on the backswing, so we can't do that. Let's go Ever After. And actually, hang on. Can we... No, we need the double black. If I play the other swamp, then we've got 7, 8 mana. 6 for the Ever After, 7 for the Fog, 8 for the Sinister Concoction to get Gaia's Revenge into our graveyard, and then we can kill Nissa and hold back Omnath, although he won't have a land open to get a elemental token. So we'll kill your land, discard Gaia's Revenge. I do hope I'm doing this right. Play Ever After, yes I am, and get Gaia's Revenge and Omnath back. We're holding up a fog, so we can't die next turn. Gaia's Revenge is going to come in and kill the Nissa. Gaia's Revenge is also quite immune to any of his removal as well, so we can hold it back in defense in future rounds. And both of our creatures are out of Radiant Flames range as well. She's just essentially going to mean that we can keep wiping his board without any kind of downside to ours. Because he's going to have hard caster removal if he's going to have any at all. And to get rid of Gaia's Revenge, he needs green removal, which is just essentially fight mechanics. So he's going to need a 5 power creature and a fight mechanic card as well to take down Gaia's Revenge. So we might have actually stabilised in the weirdest possible way. He's coming in for the attack. He's probably going for an extra draw here. I doubt he's got pump spells. Yeah, he's just going for the extra draw from the familiar dying. We can't take the damage, so we're going to have to give him that option. We've got to remember he's also got Foundry of the Consoles. Ooh, Fog. Fog takes down Omnath. Omnath points some damage at her opponent. We've got a Languish of our own. Okay. Well, we're going to suit up Hissing Quagmire here. We don't need Languish, so there's no reason to not tap down our mana. We only really need the Fog open at this point in time. If he does hit a land, we're going to have to use it. But if he doesn't, and he doesn't play a creature, then we might just win. Five cards in hand. He did get his land drop. So he can create blockers for our creatures with his Foundry, if he wants to do so. Unfortunately, we can't remove them in response. So essentially, he's got a free turn with this Foundry if he does nothing here anyway. Gaia's Revenge is a nuisance of a card, so the only thing he's going to be able to do with it in terms of interaction is chump blocking. Or just straight up blocking if he's got something like an Ishkana. He goes with Inexorable Blob. That one. Does have Delirium online. And Liliana's Elite. Okay. Well, those are getting Radiant Flames'd. So wipe his board. Suit up the Quagmire. Still got Fog open. Swing for lethal. I can't believe we managed to actually stabilize and pull that off. But that's just Reanimator for you. Didn't even get any of our life gain. There's a fair amount of it in this deck as well. Sweet. Alright guys, let's get on to the next game. Okay, we're on a draw. We have 4 lands into removal and ramp into Gaia's Revenge. This seems pretty good. It doesn't have a lot of our Reanimator targets, but we can pretty much just cast a Gaia's Revenge, so let's take it. Our opponent is rank 38 called Smear, playing green. Interesting. Smoldering Marsh for us, and I'm going to go with an Evolving Wilds and pass the turn. Go grab a Forest, one might think. So we have a lot of our double blacks and stuff like that, so he's gone with Abzan for him. Interesting. Dragon Skull Summit. Let's just go with a Hissing Quagmire and pass the turn. Let's get those tapped lands out when we can't really use them. So, oh, it might be Super Friends. Let's see what Oath of Nissa hits. Oath of Nissa is just a good value card, really, but it's usually, yeah, it's an indicator that Super Friends are coming. Wonderful. Favourite matchup of all time. That's sarcasm, just so you were aware. Really don't enjoy Super Friends. Enjoy playing it a little bit, but not playing against it. Not in this matter anyway. Alright, we'll just go with a Swamp and pass the turn. Next turn we're going to go with Explosive Vegetation. Go up to 6 mana, and then 7, slam a Gaia's Revenge, and hopefully take out a Planeswalker or 2. That'd be nice. He goes with Oath of Gideon, though, which means his Planeswalkers get an extra loyalty point, and he also gets some blockers for our Gaia's Revenge, which is upsetting, to say the least. We'll go with Smoldering Marsh and Explosive Vegetation, though. Let's go grab some basics. We've got a double black, we've got double green. Let's get a red, and another green, I guess. Really doesn't matter what colour we pick at this point, really, I don't think. Especially since we have so many lands in our hand as well. Okay, our opponent didn't count his mana properly and ended up tapping his Shambling Vents to animate it. Which is fair enough, it happens. And we go Dragon Skull Summit into Gaia's Revenge. We're going to get free hit here since he's tapped out. He won't be tapping out again, I can guarantee it. But luckily for us, Gaia's Revenge is an absolute nightmare for our opponent to deal with, since it has protection from everything that's not green, essentially. Can't be the target of non-green spells or abilities from non-green sources. Oath of Liliana, though, will happily take care of that. Yay. Okay, that's fair enough. So we're on 8 mana next turn. We're 2 turns off of Ulamog anyway, so even if he does play out his Planeswalkers, we know one of them's Sorin in his hand as well. I'm just going to be exiling it with Ulamog. I don't think he can kill us before that ends up being the case, and the Plated Crusher is another nightmarish creature for him to deal with. Trample, Hexproof, 7/6. You can still Oath of Liliana us again, but what are the odds of that? We'll go with a Swamp here. Not sure what either of those indicates. Probably should have gone with a Mountain there to hold up a potential Lightning Axe, but somehow I doubt our opponent's looking at our mana thinking about what to do. Goes with a Sire of Stagnation. That is actually a problem, because we still do need to actually make our land drops to get to Ulamog. So our opponent's going to be able to draw a few cards, which is a problem. We could just throw the Plated Crusher at him, see if he blocks with the Sire, and then we can actually make our land drops in peace. We've got, what, 4, 8, we'd be on 9 mana. So yeah, we need to make 2 land drops, which is essentially exiling 4 cards and letting him draw 4. So let's see if he wants to trade a Plated Crusher here. In fact, actually, he's only got 5 power, so yeah. He's going to have to double block. I'm going to take out the Sire, though. I think Ulamog's just going to get it done for us, really. Cool. And do I want to languish away this board? Not in the slightest. Okay, so we'll play our land drop, pass the turn. Next turn, Ulamog's going to come down, so hopefully he plays one of his lovely, lovely Planeswalkers for us to target. There's Sorin. That's what we want to see. And plus his Sorin to reveal a Hinterland Harbour, so we don't take any damage. But he gets another land in his hand. What's our second target for Ulamog? I think it's probably the Shambling Vent. Although his life gain really doesn't make any difference to us. In all honesty, it's definitely not his creatures, because Languish can deal with them very easily. His mana's sorted to the point where getting Oath of Nissa is going to make no difference. Zombies at this point aren't going to make much difference. So it's between his Cultivator Caravan and his Shambling Vent. And his life doesn't really matter to me, because Ulamog's going to be probably milling him rather than doing anything else. So, we could also hit a land as well, but I'm pretty sure that won't make any difference whatsoever. So we're going to go with Ulamog on his Sorin, on his Caravan. Yeah. If he plays anything big and nasty that's not his own Ulamog, then we get to Noxious Gearhulk it next turn and gain a little bit of life as well. Hopefully he doesn't have a sacrifice outlet here, like his Oath of Liliana. But he's got 3 turns, essentially, to find an answer. And until then, we're going to be exiling 20 cards off of his library. His outs are Anguish Stone making, mostly. Let's see if we've hit them. We've hit a lot of Planeswalkers. There's one Anguished Unmaking. So he's got one more Anguished Unmaking in his deck that he could potentially hit, and if he hits it, I'll scream. I'll be very annoyed. But you never know. We're going to hold this Gear Hulk in our hand as well. We don't really want to leave it open. Yeah, he's not even going to let an attempt at it. Alright, continue playing. Because even if he does draw into it next turn, he's going to be on 2 cards. So he's got 2 turns essentially to kill us. And his board state really won't facilitate that when we're on 17 life. So that's a game against Super Friends. Always happy sights. It's a joy to take down this horrible, horrible deck. That's not really that popular anymore. I don't see it very often. So the less I see it, the less angry I am about it existing. Okay. And let's swing in. Ooh. Pull some Rasa. We got anything in our graveyard? We got Gaia's Revenge. Could have Gaia's Revenged and Pulse there actually. But we're going for the mill kill really, so it doesn't matter. So he suits up his Shambling Vents and he's thinking really hard whether or not he wants to block. He goes with the block. Sure. We're going to Mountain. Pass the turn. If he finds a way of making us sacrifice Ulamog, we've got Pulse to get it back and cast it again. Otherwise, we've just got Pulse for any creature in our graveyard. Plus 6 life if he somehow manages to get more damage on us, but I doubt it. I'm assuming we hit his other Anguished Unmaking. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, he has no outs anymore. Short of a sacrifice card. Which isn't really an out at this point. And that's the game. We draw another Pulse. Very nice. It's going in with the Ulamog. Exile the top 1 card of his library. Take him down to 4 life. Ooh, it was a Chandra as well. Pass the turn. Our opponent tries to draw their last card and fails. Alright, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, it helps me out a great deal. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more Magic Duels content. And if you are a subscriber, then be sure to click on that little bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified for whenever I release a video. If you aren't subscribed, then be sure to stay for the end card to see the rest of the content I've got to offer. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.